Well, let's try that again. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the interview. Double Toasted Interviews. As I said, you're not used to seeing me in the middle of the day like this, but you are getting more used to it because I'm starting to get some great people to talk to. And I see that the sound is working right now. People in the chat talking about, yay, he saved it. I didn't actually save it. This is what happens, man, when you have people on who are more professional than you are. I want to welcome Chelsea, Rebecca, and James, and I got it right the first time. I wish you could have been there for it. Janice, how you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing better now. Hope people can hear us. What's going on, everybody? I see people subscribing right now and everything. Hey, thank you so much. I would love to stop and thank all of you for that, but today, you know how these interviews are. We got to make it all about our guests, and our guests are from Dead Meat, the YouTube channel and I just said this earlier, congratulations on having almost 4 million subscribers.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I just looked over and yep.
We're
almost there.
It's crazy.
Oh
See,
God.
that's when you know how successful you are. When you don't even know how many people you have anymore. You have so many you don't even check because you know it's going to be good. But welcome, and I'm glad that you're here, and it is really an honor to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time to be here. James, I know you get this all the time, but you look just like Captain America, man.
I get Chris Evans and I get Jason Schwartzman.
And that guy who's the basketball player?
Oh,
Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, I get Gordon Hayward. I get him all the time.
Yeah, notice I didn't say Chris Evans. I went straight for Captain America. You had the beard and all. You got that in-game shit going on, man. It looks nice.
No, the worst though was a few years ago. I have worked out more since, but a few years ago I was told that I looked like Captain America pre-serum, and I was like, oh
no.
When they digitally altered his body to make him scrawny. Okay.
No, man, no, I'm not even saying that. No, you're not that scrawny dude. You are the Cap, man. You are a hero.
Thanks, man.
And again, people, we have them from the channel on YouTube, Dead Meat. If you don't think I'm telling the truth about the 4 million subscribers, I have their channel right here. And if you've been watching them, then you know them from several of their series from this channel here and also some other channels that they have. One of the most popular series that they have is Kill Count. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I have to say that the kind of interview that I'm doing right now is one of my favorite types of interviews because I always think that the interview is enhanced when you have people come in as a couple.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you, for people who are having a reputation for horror and being associated with something that is horror, you two are the cutest goddamn couple I've seen in a while, man. I don't know if you're married yet, but you put this out in 2019. This picture of you guys in a treehouse or something.
It does look like a treehouse.
It does, yeah. I took the No Girls Allowed sign off and allowed her to come up.
Yeah, you had to, man. You can't be part of the He-Man Woman's Hater Club anymore, man. No, that is cute, people. This is from Chelsea's Twitter, I think, right here. This is back in September of 2019, September 13th. Friday the 13th of all times, how appropriate for these two. But this happened on Sunday. Oh, was it not Friday the 13th? Oh, it was Friday.
That's when we
made
made
it public. We kept it quiet for like a week.
I think it was a week, yeah.
Just so family knew and so we could kind of, enjoy it without it being a big thing right away.
Yeah. Can you believe that was September?
I know. And we've been planning, because we were going to get married in October. And I don't think that's happening anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
going
to happen.
Delay it,
which sucks.
But it's, we'll get married when we get married. We got a really lovely email from our officiant. We're having not a horror themed anything. We don't want a horror themed wedding, but we wanted, a touch of it. So our officiant is Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. And we got a really lovely email from her saying no matter what it happens, you're going to get to marry James. And that's really exciting. And, so she'll be there with us for, no matter what it happens. So
that's
trying
very
to be patient.
Nice. You see what I'm talking about, people? It's also the easiest kind of interview because all I have to do is just bring up something and sit back, and then they're just gonna start flirting with each other and talking, with each other. It's
everyone likes talking about themselves. That's the secret to a good interview.
Yeah, just let people talk about themselves.
No, exactly. No, I just put it out there, and couples love not only to talk about themselves, but they love to just kind of talk as a couple. So that's what's really cool right here, man. You guys, a lot of people in the chat right now. Did I pull up our chat here? I don't know if I did, but a lot of people in the chat are saying congratulations to you guys.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh,
Some
thanks,
people are
everyone.
offering to marry us on, I don't know if they're offering to marry us on Twitch. That'd be great.
Yeah, man, that would be awesome, you know, and I know you couldn't do it, but if, you know, once you start doing stuff on Twitch, then you got to put it out in the open, so people are going to ask you to start streaming your wedding. They are going to ask you to dress up like, you know, horror characters. So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, man, it's congratulations to you too. And you know, before we go into your channel and all your other endeavors, let's keep along the theme of being engaged and being a couple. Chelsea, I know that you, for the channel, you also have a podcast, as most people have, you know, alternate video aspects to what they do. You have a podcast and you edit the podcast. You also go in and you do all of you design the merchandise, if I'm correct, right?
I do all the merchandise, so all the pins and shirts and everything. I think there's like the logo I didn't do the Demi logo. That was our good friend Beth, who is on Twitch also, Beth Vrad.
Yeah.
And then there's like one other thing I didn't design myself, but most of it, yeah, that's mine. I love designing stuff for the store.
So were you a designer before you started doing this then?
No, that's just like a for fun thing.
No, but she's an artist.
Yeah, I was an art kid in high school.
Okay.
Like it was like in high school I did like I would stay after school and hang out in the art classroom. Like that's the clique I was in. So, but no, I ended up majoring in film. I don't have like a professional graphic design background or anything.
She's still really good at it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Natural talent is what you have, is what you're saying. Just born with it. And you know, and of course, both of you are doing a lot of things there. James, you do, you know, both of you are heavily involved, of course, with the channel and everything that you do. You know, so you probably can guess what I'm going to ask. How is it working as a couple, being that, you know, Chelsea has the things that she does, and I'm sure you have your things that you do. Do you two just work so well because you just kind of compartmentalize from each other, or do you work together very well and you're very involved in what the other is doing?
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of been a constant in our relationship, because even before Dead Meat, we had another YouTube channel, Practical Folks, that we were part of as a couple with a couple of other people. And so we've always, you know, that wasn't our job, but we were still working together, and it was still the kind of like, we had the creative collaboration aspect of the relationship and then the normal relationship aspect of the relationship.
Yeah, and then I mean we both majored in film.
Yeah.
In college, and so we would work on projects together and stuff. Like we had kind of a background of like being friends and working on stuff with each other.
Yeah, we were friends for years before we started dating.
Yeah, and I think like, you know, a big reason I knew like, oh, this is someone I could see myself in a relationship with is working on stuff in college. There were so many times where either like I was directing stuff or producing stuff, and I was the one you know, I'm giving you stuff to do, and there was never, you know, sometimes people get weird about a lady bossing them around or giving them orders, especially if it's film school. There's a lot of
Especially
egos.
in film school.
But James was always someone who I felt like really respected me as a person, and like we worked really well together, and so that's like a big part of how, you know, why I think we're able to do that still now and not have that affect our relationship. Like work and our relationship are two separate things.
Yeah.
So James, you didn't pull this thing where you know, you two were friends for a long time. Now I hear people when they've been, you know, friends before they started dating, that usually means that the guy kind of snatched the girl away from somebody that she was already seeing. Sometimes a friend. So I don't know if you pull that Captain America shit with somebody else, James, but you know, because you can. I don't know if you just said that you worked up that Chris Evans thing you got going on, but did you steal her away from somebody? I don't know. Was it vice versa?
Oh no, it was, I think we were both seeing people when we first met.
Yeah, we both like when we first like we've been friends for a while. I think, yeah, when we first met, I think you had a girlfriend. I was single. I was like, oh, he's cute. He's got a girlfriend, whatever. And then we just became friends. And then I feel like we both had been on and off seeing different people, but we're friends. And then we ended up both being single at the same time.
Yeah, there was long gaps between our previous relationships and our current our relationship. Yeah.
So was there a horror connection in there? I mean, since you both run a horror channel, did you both have an interest in this? You go see horror movies together or watch them at home, and that's what kind of made you close?
No, actually, because horror wasn't either of our focal points back then.
Yeah.
We were just more generalized film. That first channel that we did was like sketch comedy.
Mhm.
But, horror had always been a thing for me. You got into it in college. So, you
yeah.
were starting to get into it. But even though it wasn't a focal thing, coincidentally, the first movie we ever watched together was Hellraiser. So, back then we had no idea horror would be our careers. But we just happened to watch that movie together. And I mean, that's a weird ass movie. That is a BDSM horror movie, but we were both really into it. And yeah.
Yeah, we got to, was it 2 years ago we met Clive Barker?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who wrote Hellraiser. He directed it too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we got to meet him at a convention and tell him like, hey, we've been together at that point for like 6 years maybe.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like the first movie we watched together was Hellraiser, and I think he got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poor
it sounded like
Ken.
y'all watched Hellraiser and got turned on. There's a little something there.
Now I have a chain fetish for some reason.
Hey, give as many details as you like, whenever you like. Wow, you morph, James. I hate to keep going along these lines, but you change from time to time. You had that Chris Evans thing going on, then sometimes you change into Sam Rockwell.
I get Sam Rockwell all the time too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at you and I'm like, wow, he is actually like a special effect. He keeps changing, man. But one of your most, as I said earlier, one of your most popular features on your site is kill count, and
Yeah.
the most popular, I believe. I don't know if this is the most popular one. I know it's up there though. Has 15 million views. I'm going to show the people this if you need a little example of what they do on their site. This is again from their series Kill Count. And I tell you what, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Go on somewhere.
Siri, get out of here.
My phone, I can't, this happens every podcast. I say some S word and Siri comes in. You want to tell people about what Kill Count is before I actually show them?
Sure, yeah. I mean, when it started, I started with Friday the 13th about 3 years ago now. And when it started, it was mostly just let's show each kill in the movie and count them up and do a quick rundown. I mean, that first video I think is 7 minutes long, but it quickly became much more than that. I want to add more value to the videos, which began with doing comedic commentary on what happens in the movie, because I mean, a lot of those older horror movies, there's a lot of weird shit going on in them that it's fun to point out and make jokes about. So that became the first addition to just showing the kills. And then eventually I want people to appreciate the horror movies in the same way that I did. So I really tried to add more behind the scenes information, production information, just fun facts about everything that goes into making these movies, whether they're bad or good. A lot of work goes into making them, and I want to show and celebrate that. So they quickly became longer and longer, and now average episodes are about 20 minutes long. And so the kill count is kind of a misnomer. It's the hook for the video, but it also serves as commentary, review, behind the scenes information. I try to make it like, if you want to know everything you can about this movie, maybe watch a kill count. I rarely get into thematic discussions or analysis. I leave that to other people. But as far as the production info and all that, that's what I like to get into.
Okay, I'm going to show people a little clip from one of your most popular videos with 15 million views, the kill count from Jigsaw.
So let's catch up with a bunch of cop plot stuff. Blood under the fingernails of that buckethead body Malcolm are revealed to match the blood of a perp taken a decade ago. Who could that be? Hopefully the movie will spell it out for me.
The blood under the fingernails of our first victim It's John Kramer's blood.
Wow, never would have
The
guessed.
Jigsaw Killer.
Yeah, we know. Then a blonde, acided body is thrown from the roof of the hospital with a note saying, and then there were three. Logan shows Halloran and Hunt how the Vic was killed by hydrofluoric acid injected into her neck, and they also find a puzzle piece carved out of her tongue. Ah, shit, you know what? I forgot. What movie am I watching again?
You know, all this is so well timed, man, and
thank you.
informative, and it's very funny. How long does it take both of you to put these together? I mean, Chelsea, do you edit these also?
I don't really work on the kill counts.
No, your hands off on the
Although
kill
I
count.
do, I'll make a lot of props and stuff.
Yeah,
which
the
is
background
my
stuff.
favorite thing to do when you have like projects for me. Like I had to make barbed wire for something. I
Yep.
forget.
Barbed wire, you had to rustify the hacksaw that's in the saw kill counts. You had to make
Yeah.
it look rusty.
I had to sew a dinosaur stuffed animal for New Nightmare.
You
like,
you
just,
sewed the man in the mask
oh,
from
yeah,
the Strangers.
Yes,
Yeah, you
I
made
would
that
get to
mask.
do that kind of stuff, but like no, I just focus on doing the
Damn, you got a
podcast.
talented woman over there, man.
I know. And especially because like I'm good at writing jokes and editing videos, but as far as tactical creativity, I can't do anything. I can't draw worth a damn. I can't put anything together. So I'm so grateful to have her, someone who is talented in those regards.
Yeah.
nice, and that seems to be the case here, man. You know, being that there's so much production that goes into these videos, man. How long does it take you to finish one episode?
Yeah, it's a long time. I think, the running estimate is it's like 30 hours of combined work to make a kill count episode.
Wow.
And thankfully nowadays, when I started, I was doing every last bit of work on all those videos. But nowadays I do have a team of people who it goes back and forth between them and me, and they'll do work and then I'll make minor adjustments and then send it off to someone else. But it is a very long process for each and every one of these videos, just because I never want to put out something just to get it out there and rush it out there. I'm always trying to make sure that it is the best possible video it can be. And to that end, it involves a lot of rewriting. I don't just film the first thing I write. Not at all. That would be awful. So rewriting and re-editing and just, a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of people, they still seem to underestimate the power of the production process and how time consuming it is, man. A lot of people see videos and they get a little discouraged sometimes because they don't realize that there's a team of people working behind these things, man. What aspect of the process do you think is the longest? Because you named a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, for me, oh man, it's so hard to say. I'd say it's hard to say what the longest is, but the most difficult for me to do is that final rewrite of the script before I shoot it, because the first draft of the script, I have fun with it. I just like watch the video and I'll start and stop it. And I just write whatever comes to my mind, and it can be real free form and loose. And it doesn't matter because I'm just getting the words on the paper. And that's so hard to do. But at this point, it's kind of a fun process. But when I go back through that script and I'm adding the behind the scenes info that I've learned and done research on, and I'm making sure that each joke is the best joke it can be, that's so stressful because I know that as soon as I shoot that video, that's it. There's no more changing it. I might be able to do some dubbing in later on, but like the shooting script is the most important part. And so getting that final draft done, and that takes about like the first draft of the script takes about 4 hours to write, and the rewrite takes about 5. So again, I don't know if it's the longest part of the process for me, but it's definitely the most pressure I feel doing it.
Yeah, no, it's I think a lot of people, it's good for them to hear about this kind of process, man. Because like I said, a lot of people don't realize that because they see you, James, and this is the first time they're going to hear this, man. This is the first time they're going to understand that you have a team, a production crew doing this.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, and either one of you can answer this, how did you do this in the beginning then without having a team of people? And whether it's for this project or any other project, how is it when you're first starting out, and how do you balance that? And do you have another job that you're doing that you have to put this in balance with?
Nowadays, no. Thankfully, this is our job. But how did I do it at the start? I didn't sleep, man. It was, I mean,
Yeah, it was rough.
It was real rough, and I'm so glad that I'm with someone who understood and tolerated it because the first sorry, I thought you were going to say something. The first 6 months where I was working another full-time job and getting Dead Meat off the ground, I was putting in 40 hours a week on Dead Meat in addition to the 40 to 50 hours of work I was doing at my real job. And so that meant that I would wake up at 5:30. I would drive down to work that early to avoid traffic, just to like save myself 20 minutes of time each day. And then at work early, I would work on Dead Meat until my boss came in, then do my job, work on Dead Meat during my lunch hour at my desk, do my job, come home, work on Dead Meat until about midnight or 1, go to sleep, wake up at 5 again, and just do that every day for 6 months. I couldn't work out, couldn't do social things.
Yeah, this is not meant to be like, this is what you have to do to make your own, or like, this is how you should be. Like,
yeah, no one should live like that. I had canker sores and just, it was awful.
I think like the kind of like hustle grind culture, or just like, you know, the fact that that is maybe seen as, oh, that is the most admirable quality someone can have, is like, no, it's actually really stressful and, and like not great for you, but like that's just what it was for a bit.
Yeah, and you know, thankfully the channel got pretty popular pretty quickly, I think because of the professional look that they had based on us having already made YouTube videos for 4 years prior to that on that other channel. So I had that experience going in. I had a small audience from that channel coming over and watching them. That helped. And thankfully, because of that, I saw early on that my work, if I kept it up, it could be worth it, and this could actually be my job. So I don't know, you know, if those videos hadn't spiked that much that early, I don't know if I would have had the motivation to keep going. But a couple months in, I'm seeing video views with crazy amounts and just a lot of groundswell support from the community. And I was like, oh, I think if I can just hold this up for a few more months, it might get to a point where it can be my job. And thankfully, that's what happened.
Well, again, people have to understand the amount of time that you put into this before you even make it to this point. I mean, you say there's no way to live, and I understand that. I tell you, my wife would agree with you, Chelsea. She laughs at it. She thinks this, she sees me working hard. She says it's stupid. But you know, you're talking about how you did this for 4 years before you got to this point in another place. And then you had to carry another audience that you built over. You had to like sacrifice some part of your life to get there. Again, Chelsea, I agree with you. Not that everybody should do it, but everybody should understand that it's not something where it happens to some people, and you know, bless those people, man, if they made it that way. But it's not just flicking on the camera and posting up a video. There's a lot of work that went into it. I'm glad you were able to like really convey that to folks out there, man. I get it from people all the time. They ask me, you know, how do I get famous? Overnight. And I was like, you know, you don't. So, you know, you talk about...
and the other side of that too is that, you know, I never think about it as, yes, I alone am the one who was able to do this work, and that's why I have this success. I know that a lot of it is luck. There are so many people out there working just as hard as I did, as we did during that time, and maybe that luck just doesn't hit for them. I got lucky in that I covered Friday the 13th right as the game Friday the 13th came out. So people were looking up clips from the movies because they were playing that game, and they found my videos, and that just happened to be serendipitous. But there are plenty of people who put in that work, and they just don't get the break, and it sucks, man.
No. You know, again, you put something else in there. It's timing sometimes too. It's, you know, sometimes something will hit, and that hit will carry you for the rest of your career on YouTube or some other streaming service or, you know, platform, whatever. It's just, it's a weird game how all this works out sometimes, man. And you know, but nobody, I hardly think anybody gets into it that easy. Some people do, but there's a lot of stuff that goes behind it where people get to where they are. And a lot of people are asking right now, is this live? Yeah, it is. I don't think a lot of people, those who are asking, it's live. It's live right now. So if you have any questions for Chelsea or James a little bit later, please.
Yes, I'm laughing because the chat is currently having a debate about, did they just see there's a video about Passion of the Christ on the channel?
You saw that? Somebody said Jesus. You know, literally Jesus. Yeah, they have a video for Passion of the Christ. That is a snuff film. That's a horror movie. That counts.
Right? That's exactly what, yes. That was for the podcast we did that. That was not a kill count video, although that would be very funny.
That would be so weird. Do I take one away at the end? I don't know.
Yeah, but right. It just evens out at 0, I guess.
I like how, evens out at 0, but I like like at the time, like the kill count won, but what a fucking kill it was. You know, most epic kill ever. But you know, talking about this other channel that you were on, which was Practical Folks, I want to kind of relay this to, again, the production side of things that you do, because I think this will be sort of educational for people as well. I'm looking at one of the things you did on Practical Folks, which you did
Let's see what it is.
the Drunk Disney Talk.
Oh, it's Brock.
Oh, nice.
Drunk- yeah,
Drunk
did you-
Disney. That was our biggest series on Practical Folks for sure.
Yeah, apparently you guys like to count everything from kills to drinking. And
There you go.
Yeah, you got this is for Beauty and the Beast. I'll tell you what my question is after I show this, but this is where they get drunk and they just watch Disney films.
My favorite character is the cop. Oh, wow. Take my rose.
I don't know if I would take it. Because you would take it and she'd be like, that's $5.
He should have had like a no solicitors sign on his door. Then he would have avoided this whole mess.
Belle's known as the smartest and most beautiful girl in town.
But listen to the things she's reading.
I just finished the most wonderful story about a beanstalk and an ogre.
They're like fairy tales.
Like, it's not Joyce here.
They don't have Common Core.
Pumpkins for sale, get your pumpkins.
Trying to sell these same 4 pumpkins every day.
Good morning, Val.
He's in charge of the boulangerie, underwear for ghosts.
I just now noticed, James, you were dressed up like Gaston.
Yeah.
I just thought you were wearing a really bright Shazam shirt or something. I didn't know. That is great, man. That is great. So my question here, and please elaborate on anything that you would like regarding that series or that channel you were on at one time. But question for you is, I'm looking at things that you do with Kill Count, and then I'm looking at the stuff that was going on with. Let me cut this down. Things that were going on with this Drunk Disney viewing thing, right? A party that you would do. In both these things, you're showing a lot of clips. A lot of clips, and this is from one of the, this is from one of the biggest, if not the biggest studio out there, with the best lawyers, Disney. Now, how do you get around the copyright? And things change all the time. Is it still okay right now, or is it becoming a problem with the way just things change on YouTube all the time?
So actually with Drunk Disney, I don't think we ever got a copyright
No,
strike.
because it wasn't big enough. No one
That
cared.
was probably it. I think Disney just didn't care about us. 'Cause
I think we were so small that Disney, even if they knew it existed, they probably figured, well, it's so small that if we go after it and it becomes a big deal, we're clearly the bad guys
it's
here.
like Streisand effect too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they just didn't bother. But then with Dead Meat, it's bigger, and that's when the problems.
Yeah, and just to clarify, because I think people who don't upload things to YouTube, they hear all these terms and they get them confused. There are like copyright strikes and such. We've never gotten a strike, which is kind of a more serious offense against the channel, and it kind of restricts what you're able to do on the channel. But copyright claims happen all the time, and what that is a studio finds the content in your video and they're like, oh, this is our content that you're uploading, so we're going to claim it. The video will stay online, but we'll make all the ad revenue from it. And with both series, Drunk Disney and Kill Count, we strongly believe that those the footage being used falls under fair use, because fair use covers commentary, which is what they are, and parody, which I think Drunk Disney you could count as parody. Kill Count's not quite parody, but it's still commentary. It's I've seen people say, well, he's just using movie footage and that's how he's like making money off YouTube. But that's ignoring all the work that, as we discussed earlier, I'm putting in from my own original, like the scripts I'm writing and saying underneath all this movie footage is my own creation. So we strongly feel that they fall under fair use. And when we do get the copyright claims, thankfully now I have a YouTube network, multi-channel network called Made In, who are great. They're very small in terms of the number of channels that they deal with. They're not like one of these big MCNs that have tens of thousands of channels. I think they only have a dozen or so. So it's very intimate, very face-to-face with us. And whenever we get a copyright claim, they dispute those claims. And whether that just means filling out the right form on YouTube, or even in some cases getting into contact with connections they have at studios, it's a very privileged position to
Yeah.
be in, because I know that smaller channels that get copyright claims, they don't have these tools at their disposal. So I'm very thankful that we're able to have that. And it's actually the reason I reached out to them in the first place, was because I kept getting these copyright claims and it was hurting my channel. And I was like, I thought to myself, well, CinemaSins is a channel that uses plenty of movie footage. They don't even cut to a host like I do.
Yeah,
it's just all movie
footage.
Yeah, it's just all movie footage. So I'm like, and they're obviously a successful channel. So how are they managing it? And I looked up who managed them. It was Made In. And so I contacted Made In and they checked out the channel. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'd love to get in touch with you. So that's how that came to be. And I'm very grateful for them because they handle that aspect of it.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, that actually answered a lot of questions that I had coming up. When I was looking at the stuff that you do on, or you did on Practical Folks, I believe that this is a Practical Jokes, practical. I know I'm gonna do that shit. Practical Folks. This was a Practical Folks video where you did a Game of Thrones parody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Power Hour? Because that's like, we're so proud of those videos.
Yeah.
Power Hour, and I guess you don't do those anymore.
No, like they were so fun. So what we did was we both cosplay, not as much anymore, but there's James. We both cosplay. We love Game of Thrones. We love the books. For a bit, we were also doing a book club where we were rereading the series on Practical Folks. And yeah, I guess to answer questions, like it's just we don't have the time for Practical Folks anymore, unfortunately. Still love everyone involved. Like, you know, we still keep in touch with Dave and everything from Drunk Disney. So it's not like a personal thing. It's just we don't have the time for it anymore.
Yeah.
But so we did this Game of Thrones public access TV show because I love public access aesthetic. I love Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule. It's like one of my favorite things of all time. So I edited these. These are my post-production creations.
Yeah.
Mine and James's costumes, and then we had a bunch of Game of Thrones cosplayers come over and just like goof around with us and shoot for a day.
Yeah, we just set aside a day, turned our apartment into this public access TV show set, and then had our friends who had already cosplayed as these other Game of Thrones characters. We had them on. I think we wrote out like just like rough beats, and then improvised around it, and it was such a good time. And I wish that those videos had gotten more attention because we're so proud of them.
Hey, let me take a look at one of your videos there. Again, you guys are very good with production. Let me see here. So this is from Power Hour, which is imagine a cross between Game of Thrones and a cable access interview show.
Today we have a very royal guest, but first,
News of the realm, King Robert's dead.
I see you're not wearing black, Your Grace.
Black is for mourning.
The traitor Ned Stark has been taken into custody. His final statement as a free man was to declare to all the realm
that you all suck, and that Cersei's the best.
And how many glasses is that, Your Grace?
This many, Your Grace. There's a...
I love that look you gave her, man. Bitch, you know, that's a great cosplay. Got the makeup nailed down, the facial hair.
Oh yeah, that was all her. She made those costumes from scratch.
I have like 3 different Cersei costumes. She's my favorite.
Oh,
I'm sitting in a Lannister chair.
You are, that's right.
Even the person that you got to come in, that's Cersei. Wow, you got the makeup down and everything, man. When you guys go all out, it's almost like you get plastic surgery to do these cosplays too.
Lots of contouring. She's got those angles.
Even the person that you got to play Joffrey.
Oh yeah, that's our friend Kit.
Oh yeah, she's
who,
great.
In real life, so she cosplays Joffrey, but in real life she's a veterinarian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I met her through cosplay, and yeah, she's the best.
Let me see. I'm gonna watch. You guys need to look at a little bit of her Joffrey too. This whole thing is funny.
Look, we're on TV together. Isn't this lovely?
It's adorable.
Joffrey?
Yes, Mother?
I hear you have some very exciting redecorating plans.
I do, in fact. It's gonna be so metal, Mom.
I did see a draft of the design you're looking at. Can we bring it up here?
You look so regal.
You seem a bit larger in this picture.
I really like this, man.
That. I photoshopped that.
Wow, you are
You're
good.
feeding my thrill.
You know, the reason why I brought that up, besides just showing people your range of talent that you have, including acting, You know, I was looking at some of the stuff that you guys were doing, and again, James, I was able to pick up a few other things with you. I don't know if this is pre-dead meat, but I had this. You were in a
Oh,
commercial, Beachbody commercial. Damn, that
Yes.
Beachbody. You working at
Okay.
Beachbody too, man?
No,
Look at you.
this
That really is some Captain America shit right there. I told y'all. Look at that. He lives, Chris Evans. let me back it up a little bit here so people can see.
I want to give a tiny bit of context for
Okay.
this because it's so relevant to what we just watched also.
Okay.
So this Beachbody video was done around the time that we were going to go somewhere in our Game of Thrones costumes. And so James needed to have the Littlefinger facial hair, the like little tiny mustache and the goatee. And he was so dedicated to the Littlefinger cosplay that he has the fucking face.
Well, I had to have it. I happened to have it during the before pictures. And then I do this program for like 4 months because I did it twice.
And they were like, you have to have the same facial hair. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah, I was like, but I don't. That's not how I am. That's not who I am. And they're like, yeah, but if you shave, people will be like, oh, they're changing how they look by how they shave. So you have to look as close as possible to your before pictures. So I was like, cool. Guess I'll look like Littlefinger in my Beachbody testimonial footage.
And let's take a look at Swole Littlefinger.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna sculpt your body to a masterpiece.
The hammer is there to use heavy weights and really get that strength training.
I'm not laughing at you, but I'm just laughing because you really are like you're sexy Littlefinger, man.
It's so funny.
And for the record, the before picture, there's some weird lighting going on. All
I
right.
think, yeah, you did not look like
I
that
did not look
before.
like that. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to ask, for either the before or after pictures, was there some Photoshop
No,
or?
the after is how it looked, which it's damn missed those days 5 years ago.
It was like the food you were eating was so crazy.
Yeah, they provided all my food for 60 days. I didn't eat anything outside of the food they gave me, which was incredible because it was so regulated. It was just like the perfect macro amounts.
Dude, the funniest though was when you were on that diet and we went to Six Flags and they wouldn't let you bring in your beach.
I was so mad. I had to
They
throw
made
out
you
my
throw it all
food.
out.
I got to ask then, this is even more interesting than I thought. And I was already finding this very interesting. So you're in this and I'm thinking, okay, you just went into this as an actor. You already, I'll be honest with you. I thought that you already had the body. I thought you already had like the chiseled look and they just photoshopped your head on some schlub or something, right here. But looking at this and seeing what they did. So they actually put you on a diet and all of this. So was this an acting?
Yeah.
Was this
He really did the whole thing. Like, this is not Photoshop.
Yeah, neither picture is photoshopped, but there is a lot of lighting going on. Like they give you flatter lighting in the first picture. They spray tanned me for that second one. That was my first and probably only ever spray tan.
Didn't drink a ton of water.
There's some weird shit. I don't know if anyone watching has ever done a photo shoot for fitness, but yeah, they like dehydrate you the night before and the morning of.
The day before, you don't drink any water.
Yeah, so like in that second
Not good
picture,
for you.
oh man, yeah, it's wild. Neither picture is photoshopped, but it's all like lighting tricks and other things like that. The dehydration.
Wow, man. So was this an acting gig that just got very involved?
Yeah, I would use, was it Casting Network and Backstage and those kind of things? Because that was when I was trying to go to auditions and do acting stuff. So one of the listings I saw was for a Beachbody program, and I had already done, again, didn't look exactly like that before picture because I had already done P90X 1, 2, and 3. Like I was very familiar with Beachbody. So I saw that listing, jumped on it, and I feel like it was during a rough time financially for us because this wasn't paid. They were giving me the food, but it wasn't paid, but it was going to Beachbody's headquarters 6 days a week, every week, and working out with them in the morning. And so I remember at one point I got a job offer and I was like, I turned it down so I could keep doing this. And that was when like you were working and I wasn't, and you were making all the money.
I was, yeah.
And I was like, hey, I turned down because I want to get swole.
Well, also they were giving you food.
that helped because that cut down on expenses. But
No, that. I find that incredible, man. I was always wondering. You actually made some clarity for me here, man. I was always wondering how these were. I didn't know if this was real or not, and so apparently it's this is they're telling the truth. You that's your real body. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. I'm gonna turn this back to you, Chelsea. Okay, so being involved with Dead Meat, I imagine people associate you with horror. Are you a big horror fan?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's something I came to really appreciate when I was a bit older. Like, James has always liked it pretty much forever. Like,
Yeah.
you liked it as a kid. I was very anxious kid and easily scared, so horror was not my thing at all. But in like high school, I got into it, and in college is when since I majored in film, I took a course on horror, and that's when I just really fell in love with it. So yeah, definitely a big fan.
So now that you have an internet presence in the realm of horror, we all know that it's the internet. And this is putting it mildly, is a very interesting place for females, especially when you're in an area that for years, for whatever reason, has this perception of being male dominated. But also, horror fans are very accepting and tight knit too. So, what's been your experience being on the internet and being in horror? Is it are people pretty accepting? Are people pretty cool? Or do you I imagine you get some aggressive types out there, but overall, what's it like?
I'm honestly shocked at how, like, considering how big of a channel Dead Meat is, and I was terrified starting the podcast because I was just so worried it would be like oh, great, he's just having his, then girlfriend come on and just kind of ride his coattails and do stuff. But I have gotten next to none of that kind of criticism or feedback. Everyone's been very accepting, and yeah, horror in general, the fandom is pretty chill. And I think also, like, I started the podcast and started hosting, and like I know what I'm talking about. I don't think anyone has any reason to come for me. Yeah, I'm honestly shocked. Even just, I read all the emails that I get. We say the email address in every podcast episode. If anyone wanted to be a dick, they could, but
Yeah.
I never get any mail like that ever. And it's been really great. I'm honestly surprised.
No, that's good. That's good. One of the things I wanted to lead into with bringing up the commercial gig, the Beachbody, also bringing up like even the thing that you did for Practical Folks, the Game of Thrones parody that you do. Both of you seem to enjoy acting. Is that something that you would still like to pursue? I mean, would you like to go into movies or a TV show or anything like that? Or are you just cool with developing what you have here with Dead Meat?
I would absolutely love to act, and not necessarily just horror stuff either. Like, if I could have anyone's type of roles that I've seen, it'd be Glenn Howerton, the just like Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Just that kind of like douchey, arrogant, like the guy who has overconfidence because of his insecurities. I love that character, and I love doing comedy, and so I would love to do more acting roles for sure.
Yeah, I love acting and stuff. I think it's so fun. I love playing more character roles. Like, I don't think being like a straight up leading lady is my thing at all. I love character stuff though. Playing villains is so fun. It's why I love cosplaying Cersei so much, because she, the bad guys do have more fun.
Nice.
That's also why we like horror so much. But yeah, it's not like my main priority, but whenever I get a chance to act in stuff with friends or, little things like that, I'll usually do it.
Very nice. No, you guys are very talented in that area, That's why I ask. I can see you getting more into it if you ever want to do that. Let me see here. We're about to wind things down right here, but I guess this is a good time to take some questions from the chat and also some questions that we have in email. Now, let me go over here. I forgot to pull up the chat a little while ago. Let me see if I have my dashboard up so I can go in and actually pull them up. So chat, since you're here, I'm going to give you priority here.
Yeah, what up, chat?
On asking some questions, and let me see. Tell you what, while they're coming in, and oh well, there they go. Somebody asking, I believe that somebody probably knows your channel. They're saying, this is from Big Ben. They say, are you going to be doing more body horror in the future?
Ooh.
Actually, for the podcast, I've been thinking about doing a Cronenberg retrospective. We did an episode all about John Carpenter with our friend Chauncey K. Robinson. But so I want to do more like director series. So I really want to do a Cronenberg one. There is a guest host I have in mind. I'll keep that to myself for now, just in case it doesn't work out. But yeah, that's kind of next for me in terms of body horror.
Yeah, my kill count schedule that I have planned right now goes until the end of August. There aren't any body horror movies included in what I have scheduled right now, but yeah, I'd love to get. The thing is, YouTube has become they've become so much more prudish about gore, which is really unfortunate. And body horror, by definition, usually involves all the grotesque stuff happening. So with those videos, I would probably have to get sponsorships in order to do them. But those come by easy enough. So I'd love to cover some more.
These are kind of these questions I'm going to ask kind of go together. One is from Real Cobra Star, and the scroll is moving so fast right now I can't see the other person, but I know that they asked a question that you could probably roll into this one. They want to know what inspired you to do Dead Meat, and the other question that is kind of related, what made you want to go onto YouTube?
Oh man, well with YouTube, I don't know. I've always been trying to just create things. I was making videos before YouTube existed and just sending them through AOL Instant Messenger to kids in my school. And thank God for that, because I'm glad those videos don't live on YouTube. They're very bad and embarrassing, and they just stay on my hard drive where they will forever live and not see the light of day again. But yeah, so that's something that I've always been interested in. And we met at film school, so we had that production experience.
And then YouTube, like as far as YouTube specifically, it's just, when we started uploading stuff like 2011, 12-ish, it's just like that was the one place we could upload stuff. I feel like there weren't many other, like Vine didn't exist.
No, and I'm not as good at like short form, the quick punchy jokes. I watch people on Vine and now TikTok, and I'm like, how are you that funny in that short amount of time? Yeah. Like it takes me 20 seconds to set up a joke, and these people are making me belly laugh in like 4 seconds. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I find the same thing, man. I put a lot of prep into what I do, and I have a lot of admiration for these people that do that. This might be sort of a personal question, but I'm gonna put it out there. And they say you can just give a range here. Let me move the chat. But I think it's kind of a complimentary question too. I don't know if you can see this. People are so tiny right here, but hopefully you can. This comes from CJRC. Sajrak, I never know what these things are really spelling. They say, don't want to make you uncomfortable, but really interested in what 4 million YouTube subs looks like financially on a monthly, yearly, I guess he means level. He didn't put the word in there. Just a range would be fine. Now, I don't know if you want to answer that in any kind of way, but if you do, make it as broad and cryptic as you like.
It depends on like what is going. That's a scary thing with YouTube is like, sometimes we'll have a really good month, other times not so good.
Yeah, but I don't ever want to make it sound we never have bad months. We are extremely comfortable. We're fine. That's why now we just hired an assistant last year. Yeah. And we just recently with the layoffs, it was a part-time position, and with coronavirus and all that, our assistant lost her other part-time job, so we just decided
we hired her full-time.
And
she has a 401k.
Gave her a 401k. Wow. So and like the editors that I have that I mentioned earlier working on the team, I make sure to pay them like very good rates, because I know that I wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without them. So the channel makes a good amount of money. It's not really based on subscribers. It's really based on the views, and also it does change month to month because the amount of money you get paid per view depends on how much advertisers are willing to pay for those views. It's called CPM. I let my network handle all that. But like, for instance, January, it's the beginning of a year, and companies are more kind of stingy with their budgets. So January videos rarely make that much at all. Whereas December and November, the holiday season, when companies want to spend more on their advertising budgets, those tend to do a lot more. And then for us, October, because we have to do with horror and Halloween, those ad rates are really good. So for us, the end of the year is the best time of year. Before that, there are ups and downs at the months, but we're always very comfortable, and we really try to put that money and give it to the people who are helping us and making sure that they're paid just as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. It's very cool of you to do that. Let me see here. This is from Jason Bear, who wants to know. Let me see if you can see this in the chat right now. Jason Bear wants to know, let me see. What new horror movie are you most looking forward to right now? He says his is A Quiet Place 2.
Oh, I do think A Quiet Place 2 looks better than you would expect it to, like a sequel to that movie.
I think the thing that's going to make me go see that is Cillian Murphy.
Oh, that's right.
Just like grizzled Cillian Murphy. It's a good look.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Candyman.
I'm very curious to see what happens with that remake for sure.
Yeah.
Or possibly not remake. Who knows?
No, if I had to guess, I think it's a continuation.
It's a requel, probably. Those
Yeah.
are in spirit. I'll probably ignore Candyman's 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's like Halloween. I think it'll be like the
Halloween or the Leprechaun Returns, which started it, by the way. Leprechaun Returns did that whole thing before Halloween 2018. And what else is there? Everything keeps getting delayed.
I know everything's delayed, and it's
I'll give you
like-
one here. Somebody says, what about Halloween Kills?
Oh, great! I'm excited.
Yeah, both those Halloween sequels, if they're as good as the 2018 one, I'm happy because I really enjoyed that one. And then isn't Eggers doing something?
Oh, the Viking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything he puts out,
I'll watch
I'm excited.
anything Robert Eggers puts out. I'll watch anything Ari Aster puts out. Someone was asking about Ari Aster. Love Ari Aster. I think he's a genius. Like, I love this new school of horror.
And just to name the third person who's always grouped with them, I don't know if Jordan Peele is working on something new next.
I mean, his
Producing.
name is attached to
Yeah.
Candyman. It's not his movie, but
I don't know if he's directing another horror movie, but if so, I'm in.
yeah.
We got somebody here called Dead Meat Fan 35. What's your favorite horror movie that hasn't been kill counted?
Oh God. Ooh. Damn, that's a good
Well,
question.
I'll say the kill count I want to host if I ever get around to writing it. That's the thing, is I have to like sit and write it, and I could do a podcast just fine, but like changing my format to write a kill count is very intimidating.
It's a different voice, yeah.
American Psycho. I adore American Psycho, but that would be the episode I do.
I'm just looking at my Blu-rays.
Yeah, like
to try
which
to
ones
get
haven't you done?
an idea. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. I'm excited to cover Basket Case on the kill count eventually. You know what? Maybe Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead.
Yes,
That
so good.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but as a kid, it was definitely one of my favorite horror movies.
I've seen it more recently.
Yeah.
It rules.
It's so good.
Which one? Dawn of the Dead, you said?
Yeah.
The remake or the original?
The original.
The original.
The remake was cool too, but the original, and even Day of the Dead too. Both of those.
Yeah.
I mean, when I cover those on the kill count, I'll probably remake my Night of the Living Dead kill count because it's so
that was so long
rustic.
ago.
Yeah, that was very early and it had some production problems. So,
I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, but while I do that, people, I have to cut to a commercial break. You know my contractual obligation. Mr. Twitch will whoop that ass if I don't do this. So I'm going to ask them a couple of more questions, and while I do that, that's going to be while we take the commercial break, which I have to ask you guys. Excuse me for a moment, you two, if I can do this. I just want to say thank you so much for being here today and being a part of this. The VOD will be up right after this, so you can watch that too. But if you enjoy what you've been seeing here, please subscribe to us. Gift a sub to somebody who could use one. And if you have a gifted sub, then try the regular subs. You don't have to renew it on your own. And you don't have to put up with commercials like this. You can stick around and hear the questions that we ask. Well, we're going to take a couple more questions, but in the meantime, we're going to play this ad break, and we'll be right back after this. Let's see. Somebody said, what was your reaction? Corbin Armstrong, I saw you in there. What was your reaction to Dead Meat rising in popularity so fast?
oh man, I remember the day that Jason X came out because that was, prior to that, there was like the steady growth that you hope to see with a new channel, especially having done YouTube prior to that. But on the day that Jason X came out, I was actually at it was like a business field day with the company I worked at was full screen. And there was a day where we all went to like this giant park and there was like competitions and stuff. So it was an all day outdoor thing. And it was a really fun day. But for me, I couldn't concentrate on anything going on because I kept looking at my phone and seeing just the spikes in views that we had never seen in all our years doing Practical Folks, just insane numbers. And it was that day that I was like, this might be something. And I thankfully was working with a friend of mine. Her YouTube channel is Soundproof Liz, and she's a great friend. She's very into YouTube, and I'm so glad she was there because I was just like, dude, what's going on here? And it was like, is this a glitch or what? It was just overwhelming. And even now, like you said earlier, when we looked over and saw the 3.8, it's hard to get used to.
No, I hear you, man.
Those numbers, yeah.
Again, congratulations on that. Quick fun questions before we go. Mr. Devin JB says, if you could date any slasher, who would it be and why?
I have so many horror boyfriends, but it's got to be Freddy Krueger. He's like such a, I don't know, like I for one think Freddy Krueger is extremely sexy and he's funny and I feel like he would come up with really cool date ideas.
You see, people, that's what I tell you. Freddy Krueger, burn scars, probably in his 50s even at the time that he was killed. But young chicks dig him, man. Why? Because he's funny. He makes people laugh. Women like that.
Confident. Yeah.
And shows
confidence, man.
That's the thing. That is I think we talked about this on the podcast, but that honestly is like, that's the secret to, I think, being extremely attractive is like, because there's a reason why I think maybe especially young women, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but there is like this attraction to villains and monsters and like why? Because they're gross, but it's because it's like the confidence and it's the
the only thing is if you date Freddy Krueger, you can never have kids with the guy.
Yeah, gotta be careful with that. What are some good female horror villains?
There's not that many.
Because like Carrie's in high school, Reagan's a child. Yeah,
Annabelle's a doll. Samara's a child. They're all kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Kids.
I guess you can date female Cenobite.
Oh yeah, female Cenobite. Her
you could, or the nun is hot.
Somebody said it's still a
Christine's a car.
Christina's a car. That's sexy.
Somebody said you could do the Grudge Lady. I mean, that seems the only thing you got right there. And Annabelle technically is of age, and she could count as a sex doll if you wanted to.
Oh,
so.
no.
That's what I was telling you is I feel like, because I don't really know anime that well. James doesn't at all. And I was trying to explain to him, like, I feel like there's a trope in it where it's like, she's not a kid, actually. She's like a 1,000-year-old demigod or whatever.
Hey,
so it's like Annabelle's like technically a demon.
Big Ben says that Christine has a tailpipe.
Oh yeah, Tiffany loves pre-doll form, human form. I mean, she's into some darker shit than I am, but you know what? Given my options,
and it's Jennifer Tilly.
It's Jennifer Tilly. I ain't gonna turn that down.
There you go. Let's see here. Ladies first, ladies last. We'll put this last question to you, Chelsea. This is from the Sarah Franco. And the Sarah Franco says, is there an episode of the podcast that you've always wanted to do, but just kept saying, maybe later, for various reasons, such as you have to do a lot of research for it, or you don't feel like it would get a lot of views? I don't know if you get the question.
The ones that I put off doing, like I have so many ideas, but I always end up putting them off is because, there are a ton of research and they're ones I would absolutely need a guest for. So ones that we've done are where I have a guest on are like transgender representation in horror. We did one about Indian burial grounds with our friend Joey, who is a member of the Cowlitz tribe. So he's Native American. So there are ones I've had requested over and over again and that I think would be so cool. Like the like representation of disabled characters in horror, I think is really fascinating. Even like just exploring the trope of like, why is it a joke that the Black character always dies first in horror? So stuff like that, where I would need a guest with us because we're just two dopes making a podcast. There's only so much homework I can do before I need to call in an expert. So ones like that, where it's not that I don't want to do them, but it's like, I got to do it right, you know, or else what's the point? You know, do it right or don't do it at all. So
nice. Very nice. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Again, couples are sometimes the best guests to have on. You've been great and as cute as I expected you to be.
Oh, thank you.
So, again, congratulations on everything. And, you know, I'll be going to the channel every now and then. Some of your advice even, was very enlightening for me. I'm going to take some of that. Anything that you want to tell people about before we go?
I don't know. Don't go around coughing on people.
Yeah, stay home.
Well, I'll tell you what, before we go, let me just say this because people have a request and I want to go out on something positive while you're still here. People, you know how to reach us, kcoolmans@gmail.com. I got the graphic right here. I'll pull it up real quick. Let's see. There we go. I usually have this up here, but I was running into some problems today I was trying to take care of. So there you go, folks. kcoolmans@gmail.com. That's KCOOLMANZ@gmail.com. Email me with any kind of questions, comments, compliments, insults, input, and our advice. Hit us up on the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Type in Dope Toast for all of those, and I'm on Facebook, Corey.Coleman.5. Again, I want to thank our guests today from Dead Meat, Chelsea and James. And as we go out, I had a request. They said, please, Corey, before you go, can we see sexy little finger? There you go, folks. That is it. I'll leave you with that image right there. Hey, take your pick, whichever one you want. I want to thank our guest again. Go to Dead Meat over on YouTube. Subscribe to Double Toasted on Twitch. Check us out on other platforms that we have, including our own, doubletoasted.com. And we will see you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.